Well, we're back. Here we go. Starting it up, going live, walking the wire, little waiver wire action. Little Brian, little Brennan. How you doing, man?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Brian?
Come on, we practiced for 45 minutes on that intro, and you're just gonna. All right, folks. This is the
I have
kind of work
stage
we put in.
I have stage fright, all right? Leave me alone.
Yeah. Hey, I got you. I feel you. Went to my little brother plays for ODU. Went to the game a couple weekends ago. Walked in the bathroom. Urinals were a lot tighter than I thought, and yep, stood there for a good minute. I'm like, oh, guess I'm getting back in line because nothing's happening. Talk about
What is
stage
it?
fright.
What, like football pro to you?
Yeah, yeah, tight end.
Well, nice.
Yeah, he's a big mammoth of a kid. Looks like little Hercules.
They
You know, like
suck, which is unfortunate, but
yeah, unfortunately, the quarterback. He's trying his hardest. If you're a fan of the show, there,
eh,
buddy, you're trying hard. But here we go. It's too much fantasy football here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. It's Brian. It's Brennan. Let's get it started. Yo, there we go. Kind of already in the show. Didn't want to reintroduce it, but let's get it started. We got a question here. Jason's so excited. Look at him. Back at it again. Drop Javonte Williams for Cardinals DST for the playoffs. Currently have Houston defense. Houston by week 14. Or add Gus Edwards, Tank Bigsby. I mean,
I don't. I don't want to add Gus Edwards because I don't think the Chargers running backs are any good besides J.K. Dobbins. Um, what's Houston's or what's Cardinals defense looking like for the playoffs? Like, are they actually have like juicy matchups? I don't even.
yeah, that's what I was trying to pull. I'm pulling up that up now. I'm trying to remember what they had. Because I know the Buccaneers had one of my favorites. They get New England, Carolina, and then the Rams. So his first 2 weeks, yeah, they're great, but
Is it really a good week though? Because like Bryce Young's playing better, like Drake May's playing a little better. Like the Cardinals aren't the best on defense. It's not like that's their strong suit.
yeah, last 3 weeks they've been decent in sacks with 5-3 and 6, but before that it's like 1-3, 0-2, 0-2. Um,
Yeah, I
Not exactly one of
I
those
don't
teams that jumps
know.
out at me and screams when I think like turnovers. So I don't know if there's. I mean, I don't think they're going to be a bad play necessarily, but I don't know if it's something that you have to stash now. As far as like
Yeah,
everything I'm hearing, Buccaneers are really the only team that I've heard is like the mustache defense right now. Everybody else seems like plug and play.
and like honestly, I'd rather have depth at running back going in the playoffs than struggling to pick up somebody in hopes that they pan out. Like Alvin Kamara, Brees, Tracy are three really really good running backs. Bucky's even better to have that, but then you have Rico Dowdle and Javante who are just like I would just say that's like break the glass type of situation. But I'd still rather
Yeah,
have those two compared to like what I'd rather have them than like a defense that you. It's just not. It's a defense at the end of the day are still gambles. Like I picked the Chiefs defense against the Panthers. I was hoping like a good week, and then lo and behold, only 1 point. Like it's just not that great. Like
it's one of those. Yeah, it's so volatile too, and like the other thought process too. Once the playoffs hit, there's usually a couple managers. Well, they're not playing for anything, so that's two less defense. That's two less players or four less players that are picking up teams. And the deeper and deeper you go into the playoffs, there's less and less teams that are looking for these defenses. So the competitiveness for these volatile pieces really isn't as bad as we think it is. Because yeah, I'm the same way. Halfway through the season, I'm like, all right, who do I want to start targeting here, here, and here? But like honest truth, once you get down to it, it splashes in your face most of the time.
yeah, definitely. I think I even play in leagues myself where like if I'm out of the playoffs, I'm still that asshole that picks up players even though I know they're targeting, just be in spite, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's yeah. Not saying I'm not guilty of it too. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's always fun to piss off people when you see in the group chats like, "Why the hell did you pick him up?" It's like because I know you wanted him.
Because we don't walk movements after you're eliminated.
Yeah,
Change the rule. Yeah, I've actually had to turn that on in a couple leagues. Had to set that up. But yeah, defenses. I don't know. I'm not trying to kill myself or kill my roster spot. I definitely would rather have the extra running back versus a second defense. I'm trying to
yeah.
look at Houston's situation because actually I do have them in my home league as well. Are they going to
They
be?
have the Chiefs. They have a tough schedule. I know that they're going to face a really tough part of their schedule.
Okay, yeah. So 14, they've got to bye Miami,
Yeah,
Kansas City, Baltimore. So
yeah, like
probably just let them go after
drop
this
them.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just play you play the waiver wire game of just like, and you look for the lowest over under. That's what I would do, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, Vegas, they're pretty good at that job. You know, the way my sports book looks, So I wish they were worse at their job, I guess is what I'm saying.
Actually, this year they've been terrible. The squares have been winning.
Well, just not enough, okay? I want more.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, the Sunday night game, the Eagles had like 90% of the money and they covered, and then the Ravens had like 88% of the money and they covered too, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Because I bet on both of them and they won.
I'm winning my book.
All
I'm
right.
looking here at week 14 at who you would stream. Would you stream Tennessee against Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think I'd consider it.
Because I mean that one, I'm sure Tennessee's going to be out there for the pickup. Giants against New Orleans.
No, that one I'd rather have the Titans and the Giants for sure.
Seahawks and Arizona play again that week. I don't. How's that game going to go? Because we're not going to be able to
Low
get it right.
scoring.
Yeah, it's going to be a low scoring. The Cardinals are going to pull off the win. Oh man, Miami against the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers is benched by that point, it's Tyrod or Tyrod if he's out there.
I just that's a divisional game too, so it's one of those like it's dicey. I think the Titans have the best chances. I think Jacksonville is well. Trevor Lawrence is coming back too, but again, it's like they're so bad. Like
They're so bad. I mean, they traded away a tackle mid-season. That's not helping
yeah,
Trevor at all.
no,
Um, yeah, this week as far as streaming defenses, trying to look at I mean, Kansas City, you talked about them not doing well. Would you go back to Kansas City this week against the Raiders?
yes, absolutely. I picked it up because I saw their schedule. The Panthers, Raiders, who they play though. I think it
Uh,
was
um, oh my God, I just rolled away from Kansas City. They've got the Chargers, Cleveland, Houston, Pitt, and Denver. Wow, they've got a rough schedule coming. I'm glad we don't have to rely on Kansas City players this week because yeah, that's a gauntlet for them to go through.
yeah, it is a pretty good gauntlet.
All right. Quarterbacks, let's go ahead and start at the top here. As always, folks, you got any questions, topics, anything you want to throw in the chat, let us know. You want to see us argue about something, you want to see us name call, just throw it in there. We'll do it. We'll get mean. We'll pull out the claws. Cat fight. I'm all down for it. He can pick the Panthers,
Hey,
I'll pick the
just a
Bengals.
quote from Aaron Rodgers about 10 minutes ago. I feel great right now. I had a week off, felt as good as I've ever felt for a long time. I will not willingly go on the IR without an injury.
So he's
This
going to
is
IR.
Aaron Rodgers basically telling the Jets that you bench me if you're going to do this.
Yeah, man, this is gross. Are you worried? How worried are you, I guess, for your Jets players going forward?
I
Jets
mean,
receivers.
I'm still starting Brees, Garrett Wilson, and Devontae Adams. Like I'm still starting them because like I'd be a fool to sit there. I have better options. Like, do I really though? Like my better options in those like Josh Palmer, Jameson Williams. Like like, am I really going to start them over Josh? Like, no, I'm not.
I mean, JSN, are you starting him over Garrett
Oh,
Wilson?
JSN for sure. Yeah, I actually would. JSN's like finally coming together. It's year two, wide receiver, finally breaking out. It seems like
I know it's been 3 games back to back, but is it consistent? It just doesn't feel consistent enough for me, even though, because it's been three of
he's
what,
taking over
12
that Tyler
games.
Lockett role. I think he's finally transitioned to that Tyler Lockett role.
But why did they wait 10 weeks? I just don't get it. 8 weeks,
Why
I'm
did
sorry.
Bryce Young finally take almost a season and like almost 2 seasons to finally figure it out in the NFL? Like he's now planting his foot and not like throwing with like off footing. Like he's actually like stepping into his throws. It's just I don't know. It takes time for these guys. They're all imagine at your age being in that situation.
You think Bryce Young, they just got him steel-toed cleats. So, look, you don't have to worry about your feet getting stepped on anymore, Bryce. They're protected. Plant your foot.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Bryce Young believer. I still am. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in this NFL. I don't know if he is going to be like a top 10 by any means, but I think he'll be like in a like top 20.
I hope so. I mean, I'm always down for better quarterbacks in the league. That's always good for scoring. It's good for teams. It's good for. I mean, look how lopsided this year is as far as like the wins losses. It's completely tilted.
Let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 10, your worry meter with CJ Stroud, where is it at?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about this at all. Like he took a huge step in the rookie year. There was going to be a little bit of regression this year. I mean, the injuries to Collins and Diggs doesn't help him at all either. But I'm not too worried about it. I still think he's good. Like for fantasy, this is what I expected though. It's like this is no surprise. But I don't look at him as being some elite fantasy quarterback. He's probably going to have maybe a year or two where kind of like, Tom Brady, where they just like, hey, we're going to let you loose. We're going to try and break some records with you. I could completely see that happening in a few years for him. He gets a couple of those. But outside of that, I think he's going to be a fringe QB1, QB2 for most of his career,
Okay.
which isn't bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Where's your worry mirror? You got him at a 10, don't you?
No, not at all. Not ten's ludicrous. I'd say 5. I'd say it's a little troublesome, like because people are like the Texans fans are calling for the OC like to be fired, and like he was just
Stupid.
which is just like kind of odd. Like I don't because like Stroud when I saw the interceptions, it's like it wasn't off the receiver's hands. Like he legitimately just threw it to the other team.
Yeah, that might worry me more for Stroud if the OC does leave because D'Amico Ryans, he's the defensive coach, so he's going to need a strong OC to support that offense. It's not going to be him. So I think that's where we could see like a wavering in CJ Stroud as well, is depending on how good his OC is. So if he does leave, same thing with Goff. If Ben Johnson leaves, I've got no faith in Goff again. I mean, not that he's going to completely fall off the cliff, but I think that helps him out a lot.
If he leaves for the job and the Giants fire Brian Dable, I could see them like being like, "Hey, shell out some serious cash for Brian Dable to be the offensive coordinator."
Which probably be better for his career. Some of these guys just
Yeah.
aren't meant to be head coaches; they're coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would worry me for CJ Stroud though. If the OC leaves and just who comes in next, because there's some bad ones that float around. Could you imagine if Shane Waldron gets another shot as an OC?
Dude, that would just be the dumbest thing ever. Like you've seen him now be an offensive play caller for 2 different teams, and it was still awful both times. So like, I don't know what to tell you on that one,
I mean, how many times did Adam Gase get a shot?
dude. He was the QB whisperer. He was the reason why Peyton Manning was so good. Remember, that's why.
Right? Yeah.
He was number.
Pate needed some help from Adam Gase. Oh man, Zuzu, what's happening? Always here hanging out in the chat with us, whether it be Sunday morning on Spilled Coffee or, of course, Tuesday, Walking the Wire. Rolling through quarterback streams for the week. Let me see who else we're maybe looking at.
Oh, did you do the underdog Thanksgiving best ball tourney they have for the 3 games?
I heard there was one. I haven't dug into it yet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so like you can only pick one quarterback, and then because like once you take one, it takes it off the board. So like my first one, I was like I kind of like reached. And I was like I took Tua, and I was like, oh, I can't take another quarterback. So it very much limits you. It's only a pool of 4 players too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A little interesting. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll be checking that out. Maybe we'll do a live one here.
Yeah.
We can't get enough going on. I got another. One of my match didn't even need Barkley and Henry. That's
fantastic, and I'm jealous.
right, because then you get 250 yards from Barkley. Hey, at least you won't have to worry about being lower on the max point scored, because that's freaking. But I need your advice for next week's Daniels over Mahomes. We were just having this conversation.
Yeah, why don't you fill him in, Brian? Where are you at on that one?
Well, somebody may have changed my tune a little bit there. Patty's got the hot hand. I think we're going to ride with it. I've got Jaden Daniels up there. I think he's got a decent game this week. But yeah, give me Patty Mahomes. Give me Patty.
I like Patrick Mahomes as well. I think the Raiders have a very subpar defense, and Daniels is playing Tennessee, who, for whatever reason, Tennessee has a decent defense and can cause trouble. So I trust Patrick Mahomes in the hot streak he's on right now to score more points than Jaden Daniels.
Hey, when you've got an elite tight end like Noah Gray, how can you not expect the guy to just continue to feast?
Feed
Yeah, I
him.
think that's where we're going though. Mahomes seems like he's got a pretty good matchup. It's Friday game. It's a little weird. I guess you'll know before Sunday. Know if you've got
Maybe
to
the stream
pivot.
will be quality for
Pro-
Netflix or Amazon. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Amazon's got it. It's Netflix dropping the ball. We got George over here. What's happening? Hey man, should I trade Bucky and JSN for Derrick Henry?
Ooh.
RBs are Barkley, Gibbs. Wide receivers, you got Marv, you got DJ Moore, Waddle, Hopkins, and Amari Cooper.
Okay, let's play this out here. So your RBs is Bucky, Gibbs, Barkley. Wide receivers are DJ Moore, Waddle, Hopkins, Amari Cooper. I wouldn't do that trade
I'm right
because
there
like
with you.
Barkley and Gibbs are RB1, RB2.
And Bucky's
Then
got an
let's go through.
amazing rest of season schedule. Henry still has a bye in week 14. I
Yeah,
know Henry's been great, but I really like Bucky rest of season. And you already have, like Brennan said, the studs with Barkley and Gibbs. So like that just means you get to keep JSN. I think I'd roll with it.
yeah. Jason's on a hot streak, and Bucky outsnapped Rashad White for the first time. I think the transition's actually happening. Like,
And it's going to be positive game script for him too. Bucky's the better runner, like pure runner, so he'll get a
yeah,
lot more of that work, especially in these positive game scripts for the rest of the season for him. So, I mean that, and like you're going to lose Henry for the bye week next week too.
yeah. Oh man,
But the idea of
it's a
having Gibbs,
solid
Barkley,
trade
and
though.
Henry,
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about that too in the back of my head. I'm like, damn, like when I see that lineup, but like your wide receivers would be MHA, or MHJ, Waddle. I mean,
they all disappear. All of those guys have disappeared.
yeah, like I don't know, man. I just like JS. I think you just rather have the options and like because like Hopkins and Amari Cooper are like the same player. I feel like
So for context, I'm
I'm
nine
nine
and
and
three, first
so you get
place.
a buy. So you have a buy. It sounds like. Um, what's
It's a good trade. I think it's
it's a
a
good
fair value
trade.
trade. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one
Uh,
of those like, damn, you'd have like the RB1, RB2, and like RB what 6.
Baltimore has a bye week, so they play Philly this week, then a bye. Then you got the Giants, Pitt, and Houston. Pitt and Houston, those are hard defenses. The Giants, they've got a pretty good front seven, so I don't love his rest of season schedule, and I do love Bucky's.
Yeah, I think Bucky's a very underrated running back. So I would just keep Bucky and JSN like just because you don't know what's going to happen in the playoff time. Players could just get hurt, and you just I think that the depth the better because your team's already really good. So
Yeah, I don't mind. Well, I mean, we see why you're freaking 9 and 3. It makes sense.
yes,
Checks
very
out.
good draft. Yes.
Zuzu, what do you think at wide receiver? I have Collins, Hill, Higgins, and DK. Need to.
I mean, Collins and Higgins is who I'd probably start.
Higgins over Hill.
Yeah, like dude, I mean, look at it. Since all Cincinnati's doing is just throwing the football. Like, and when Higgins is on the field and he's playing the entire game, he's very, very good.
Oh, that one's hard. Oh man.
Like
Yeah, we got
Collins have
Hill.
had, yeah, Collins have had like 2 touchdowns called back, or he had 3 technically. So I'm still starting Collins.
Yeah, he's absolutely been crushing it. So yeah, Collins is the easy one for me. It's weird that like how is DK not in the conversation here? I guess it's because of the surgence of
JSN.
JSN. Yeah.
Yeah, I just and yeah, my money's on Collins and Higgins.
It feels so hard. Like, how do you bench Tyreek Hill with Tua? I get it 6 weeks ago when we didn't have Tua. Bench him, that's fine. But like,
What's he
against
really been doing though with him back though?
I mean,
Is it really that good? Like compare Hales to Higgins, like with him being back, like I think Higgins has outscored him if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I don't want to play that game. That hurts. I mean,
Yeah, it hurts.
The Bengals have the Steelers this week.
I still trust Joe Burrow to throw the football accurately.
Oh man. It's in Cincinnati. All right, yeah, I don't hate it, but I the thought of sitting Hill, it hurts me.
It's weird, but like the dude has a second round pick, a first round pick, a fourth round pick, and a third round pick at wide receiver. Like it's not like this like crazy thing to be wanting to start over the other.
Yeah, 100%.
It'd be
Yeah,
weird to be saying that if it was like Cedric Tillman has been just been going off, like, and then I said that over Hill. Like, yeah, you can make that argument, but like, I don't know, man. Higgins has been when he's on the field, he's very, very good.
yeah, Tyreek going back, he's been wide receiver 40, 15, 23, 30. He had that stint of 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 15 points, but yeah, giving you 7 last week. Only 74% of the snaps, his lowest since week 4.
Who's the bigger bust, him or CD? Because they both went 2 and 3 in most drafts. Is it Hill? Because like CD's had like pretty big. I think he had like at least 1 or 2 big weeks, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Tyreek. Yeah. The funny thing is, I thought I was hot shit this summer when I wasn't taking I didn't take CMC hardly at all this year. Even from the 1, from the 2, the 3, I was taking more CD Lamb and Tyreek Hill, and I thought I was hot shit after like CMC. I'm like, look at that, it's working out. And no, it seems like essentially all first round picks were a bust this year in best ball.
Nah, Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what it is. Jamar Chase was the one that pulled through. But I mean, AJ Brown has been great playing, but the injury. What do you have? 3 weeks absence. So yeah, that absolutely.
Puka was, he's had flashes of good, not amazing.
But I mean, he missed time too.
Justin Jefferson has had flashes of good weeks, but like last week obviously was a dud.
Garrett Wilson with a slow start.
Amon-Ra's been very, very safe. He's been a very safe first round,
but nothing like second round safe. Something you would have been happy from like a second round
late first, like a late first,
right at that turn, 100%. Like I would have loved to take like a Saquon and then Amon-Ra, but like where the value was, you're not getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, nobody flex over Brown, right?
Nobody flex over Brown. What do you mean?
I think it was after this one. It just depends what Brown. If it's Chase Brown.
Yeah, AJ Brown? Which Brown?
AJ Brown, there you go. Yeah, AJ Brown would be above all of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be with Collins. He'd be like in the same boat as Nico Collins,
yeah.
And same question every week. Bowers or
Bowers. Kittle? Yeah, Bowers.
Yeah, give me Bowers. Kittle's just got that injury a little bit, so give me. Yep, took Hill second as well.
Not shocking.
Yep. George came back with. I'll use Henry as my flag. Oh, that was back from earlier. Sorry, my chat's getting. It's been a little funky last couple of weeks. It's like duplicate stuff. Weird stuff.
I also like to know the format too of that. If it's 3 wide receiver or 2 wide receiver for George it was George. Yeah.
Oh, for
changes things up.
100%. Yeah, if you're starting 3 wide receivers or 2, that's a big difference. Okay, yeah, he was talking about Chase Brown. Yeah.
So, any of those players over Chase Brown?
Of
DK, Hill, Nico, and T. Higgins, like I might consider. I'm trying to think. Like Collins, I'm starting.
Yeah, I'd play Collins for sure.
I'm starting Higgins over Hill. Now, am I starting Hill over Chase Brown?
I think Hill would be the ceiling play. Chase Brown would be the floor play, just because of the Steelers matchup.
Who does DK play this week? Who does Seattle? Yeah, that's why we're not talking about. I mean, we're kind of just saying DK sucks right here. Which
they play the Jets, really so he gets the sauce.
Yeah, but Sauce hasn't been good.
Or Sauce doesn't care.
That or he's just really into golf. Well, like there's a couple options here we have.
I'd be willing to play Chase Brown over DK Metcalf.
Yes, I would say yes to that. But Hill, I think I'd lean Hill over Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, DK,
that's where I'm at.
This is the weirdest wide receiver season. The weirdest freaking wide receiver season.
Yeah.
Just looking at where these guys sit overall in the season, like the spike weeks, like what a spike week actually is. Like DK had a wide receiver 5 finish in week 7. He had 17
Yeah.
points. That was a wide receiver 5 finish.
Hey
No,
man,
no
take where
thanks.
you can.
Well, and then week 3 he finished with 18 points, and that was the wide receiver 9. NFL, what did you do? What did you do?
Hold on. I want to know this dude's running backs because, like, he must have punted on running backs, right? Like,
Oh, to have all his wide receivers, most likely.
yeah. That's what I'm curious. CZ Zoo, who are your running backs? Because, like, that's a solid tandem of receivers to have. So, well, it's like a keeper league, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played in a keeper league before. No, I haven't. My 20 years of fantasy football.
I turned my home league into one like 3, 4 years ago because I couldn't find a dynasty league to join. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to turn my home league into a keeper league and I'll get to write out some of that.
Mm.
I like it. I'm still trying to like morph the rules a little bit each season to try and figure out what exactly we like the best. But that fun of having like a late gem that you find to be able to play, Nico Collins is a 14th round pick this year because, the girl got him so late.
Yeah, I know the rules of it. Like, we're basically, like, if you keep a player the 14th, he's now a 13th rounder, and so on and so forth, right? Just
Yeah.
basically keeps moving down the ladder. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you say? He said, yeah, I picked 4 wide receivers from my 5 early picks. That's typically the strategy that worked the last couple of years.
I mean, except for this year, but I mean, you have. Well, actually, this year's been a little rough.
Henry, Barkley, and then Chase Brown.
Damn, dude, what is it? 8-man league?
Uh, no, 10.
Okay,
Just regular redraft.
redraft. Yeah. Damn, dude.
That's a solid.
Invite
Yes.
me to these leagues,
Yeah.
please.
No kidding. Although, like random leagues I end up joining, it's like just
Yeah.
no interaction, no train, like just no fun at all.
Charles Rush, PPR
Charles.
start. Ingram if Trevor Lawrence is back. Disley or roll a dice with Taysom. I think I'm rolling the dice with Taysom, dude. Like, if you're telling me there's a ceiling play, it's Taysom. The dude just is doing everything for the Saints, and they still want to use him. So I'm all on the Taysom Hill train.
Yeah, Disley I like as a plug and play, but that's with lesser options than these. So I'm with Ingram or Taysom. I think over Disley, and yeah, Taysom. I think just the pure upside because Ingram, end of the day, it's probably going to be between 4 and 8 points at this point, like the rest of the season. And I think I'll take the boom that Taysom can give me versus maybe the couple duds he may give you, and you miss out on what 6 points, 7 points.
Yeah.
Give me Taysom, man. I'm excited. I've got several leagues that I've got him there. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Mr. Magic.
I need Dobbins to be good. What is going on with him, by the way? I haven't seen anything.
Probably going JSN right now. Between JSN and it's DK.
Full
I was thinking
PPR?
it was
Yeah, I think I'd lean towards JSN, honestly,
JK.
still.
I'm right there with you. My home league, I have DK and I have JSN. I wasn't able to trade either one of them all season. And now I'm stuck with both of them, and I'm playing them both.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's kind of the nice thing. We have 2 more weeks until the playoffs, so you keep watching the snap count, see the targets where they go. The matchups might leave you in a point where you can play both of them. It's not ideal, but at least you'll capture some sort of points. They've got Arizona after this week, Green Bay, and then Minnesota and Chicago. Championship week in Chicago. Are you going to play either one of the Seahawks wide receivers?
I play JSN, yeah. I play both, actually. Yeah, I'm still playing both.
Oh, it's just such a hard defense, though. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah. What's going on with JK, though? It just says knee. Like,
hasn't it said that since he got drafted?
That's mean.
I mean, but it's not wrong. I'm a huge JK fan. I'll be getting me a discount JK jersey this year from the Chargers. That powder blue hanging up right there, yeah, it'll look good. Not a big Chargers fan though. Philip Rivers ruined my life. Come on.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like so, like if JK's down, you're not starting Gus Edwards or Kamani Vidal or Hassan Haskins, right?
I mean, I think Vidal's going to be the guy I'm going to go to. Um, just he has the like he's the one that looks closest to JK. He has the pass catching chops. So if
Yeah.
there's anybody with the upside, it's going to be him. But I think if you pick up, what's his name? You pick up Gus, you know what you're getting. You're getting a guy that's going to give you between 4 and 8 points, and you hope he gets a touchdown for you to be happy.
Man.
And they don't have a great schedule.
No, they
I
don't.
mean, they play Atlanta this
Browns.
week. Kansas City next week.
Oh, no, they play the Browns. Yeah, so it's Kansas City, Saints. Not Saints, sorry. It's Atlanta,
No,
Kansas City.
Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Denver, New England.
It's not a. It's not like an easy schedule. They're gonna be clampering onto some wins there. That Denver game's gonna be really interesting for playoff implications.
100%. Yeah, 100%. That will be. Uh, that'll be week 16, and they play Vegas in week 18. Ew.
Vegas playing spoilers.
It's weird. Denver and Chargers are both in the playoffs. Like that's wild to me. Absolutely wild. Houston's the third team in, so you've got the Bengals. Oh, Bengals might not make it.
They're not going to. I think the Bengals are. I think they fire their head coach, and then
Please, please.
I'm trying to think of like opening spots, like because I think Ben Johnson finally takes the head coaching job, and I'm like looking at the head coaching spots, like I gotta say, since he's got to be a really really desirable place for him because he's
I
gonna
think
get
so too.
yeah.
I think
I
that's
think
it.
he really
Probably
done with
would
them
be
team up
like
too.
top of the list if they can get rid of him. Because I just, I mean, I've been doing shows for a while now. Like you've heard me bitch about this guy. I do not like Zach Taylor. He's top of my ew
Yeah.
list. So yeah, I agree with you. I think he would be like that would be a top area. Do you think the Jets are going to be a desirable?
No, no, is Woody Johnson the owner? Dude, honestly, I think the Giants are more desirable than the Jets
Yeah, I think I would take the Giants over the Jets. Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there.
because they have a
Um,
higher draft pick. You can probably take the quarterback you really want between Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders. Like,
Mixter Magic's coming back. Receivers are Puka, Jamar, DK, and JSN.
it does suck to have both DK and JSN. Can we start three? I would try to trade away like a 2-for-1. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if you still trade, maybe see if you can
yeah.
do something
If
there. I'm not
Dobbins
getting.
misses time, Vidal is a better handcuff. Yes, I can't like. Yeah, I'd rather start Vidal if
Yeah,
he gets activated.
Vidal's going to have the ceiling. There's not much of a ceiling with Gus Edwards as just a runner, not a pass catcher. And then
Yeah,
Hassan Haskins, why is he get him out of there? Get him out of there.
he's bad.
Bat. Justin traded Henry, Aaron Jones, and Pickens for Bijan, Pollard, and Nico. Did I win or lose the trade?
Dude, trading a top 5 wide receiver for another top 5 wide receiver? It's crazy.
Oh my God, you and Pickens.
I love Pickens. Pickens is great. All right, so let's break this down. So Derrick Henry and Bijan, I think that's a even trade. Like you can literally make a coin flip for either, an argument for either or. I think Bijan's starting to pick it up right now, so I think it's a little more. I think Bijan probably has a better, more juice for the rest of the season, maybe. But like they're both even. So, and then Aaron Jones versus Tony Pollard. That's where are you at between those two?
Pollard's got a good like. I do like the Titans rest of season schedule, but I guess I just like that Aaron Jones is like he's on a playoff bound team. A team that's playing for something. Like the Titans aren't playing for anything at this point. If anything, they might start packing it in. Looking for that draft pick. I'm also a Tajay Spears apologist, so like I'm still hoping that pops. Something comes in fruition of that. So I guess I'm not a huge fan of equal for equal trades, like two running backs and a wide receiver for two running backs and a wide receiver, because there is going to be a loser. You know, if you trade a running back for a wide receiver, if both of you needed that piece, nobody loses in that trade, really. You know, but somebody has to lose this trade, and that's what
Yeah.
scares the hell out of me.
Uh, I guess I don't mind the side you got. Like I like Bijan. I like
Mm.
Pollard. I like Pollard more than like Aaron Jones, and then Nico Collins. Like yeah, he's paired up with Stroud, and I still think the touchdowns will happen at the end of the year. But man, George Pickens, top five.
I was gonna say I think I'd rather have Bijan and Nico over Henry and Pickens.
Yeah,
Just like a little bit more. I do like those two, and then Pollard and Aaron Jones. I think it's just
coin flip.
yeah, kind of coin flip. It's more taste. I'm more of an Aaron Jones guy versus a Pollard guy, but I don't think there's anything far off of it. If
Yeah,
anything, I think it comes down to the schedule. Do any of them have that Week 14 bye? That I think might just be
the
your automatic
Texans.
loser.
The Texans do, I think,
Texans do.
because yeah. Where does George Pickens go next year in redraft?
You know, luckily, I don't think he's going to move too much as far as his ADP. Like, yeah, I think he's shown, but ADP is built off the people and where they take him, not off his skill set. Do I think he's more talented than where he's going to go? 100%. I also don't think he's played out of his mind to the point where he's garnered enough hype around him where people are willing to put him there.
Found my sleeper. Then I hope you rank him low. Rank him
No,
low.
I won't. I'll have him.
Oh, okay.
I'll have him high. I'm not saying I won't. I think I'm gonna have him higher than like consensus next year because I think consistent.
Is
Like
he a wide receiver one next year? Let me ask
no, I'll probably have him like as a fringe 1-2 most. I guess it also depends on who the quarterback is.
you.
Does Russ come back? I'll have him
Leave,
higher up. If it's Justin
leave,
Fields, what if it's Justin Fields?
leave. It's
What if
not
it's
just. I think him and Russ get a deal. I think they get a deal done.
and that's where I would have him as a fringe 1-2. But if it's not Russ, then there would be more question marks on Pickens next year for me. But
Tripping.
I don't have him low. I don't think anybody who took him this year, they're pissed. They're disappointed. They either dropped him or traded away because he was so bad his first, what, 7, 8 games? Wide receiver 26, 63, 45, 25, 67, 47. Wide receiver 4, and then 44. So up until week 10, you only had one top 24 week.
Yeah, dropping him though. No one dropped him unless you're looking like an 8-man or 10-man league.
I was gonna say like maybe dropping was a little hyperbolic there, but like within that, like I'm sure you were thinking about it come week 6 when he hadn't been above a top 24 week, you know. So I just think that there's gonna be enough that bad taste in your mouth, and he won't finish well. Championship week, he's got Kansas City, so hopefully that's the last taste in everybody's mouth, and we get him. We get him cheap.
Don't matter who's covering George Pickens. He's a dog.
He's a dog. He seems like such a nice fella too.
Dude. I want him on my team. Are you kidding me? I wanted to throw DVs to the ground and just say, I don't care you pick me up. I'm just going to fight you. Like,
I am right there with you, Mr. Magic. Literally, like my trade deadline, you know, ended at the Monday night game. Fourth quarter, I'm sitting there sending every trade I possibly could. I tried to trade JSN away for Fab. I wanted to split it up so bad. And I got a counter offer and I went to bed. Yeah, that's how bad it was. I just wanted him off my team because I didn't want to start both of them. Sent him off for 20 Fab and somebody sent me a counter offer for 10 and I fell asleep before I saw it. It's okay. They look dumb now.
I couldn't believe they just didn't accept that. What?
I know.
Fab is not that, like,
no,
that
it's not.
deep.
You should see what goes on in my home league. It's a hot mess.
I'm very curious now because I look at this and scratch my head. Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah, definitely. That's JSN. For PPR, full point PPR, yes.
Yeah.
If it was half point, I'd lean towards DK.
Yeah, pull that out of your hat, Mr. Magic. I love that. Zuzu, are you guys into college football?
Yes. I am.
Yeah. Into it, watching it consistently, not anymore. It's been years since I've like consistently sat down and watched a game, but I'll catch one every week or two.
I'm watching most of the big games. Like last week, like last Saturday, I watched Ohio State, Indiana, which I expected Ohio State to roll through. Yeah, I watched most of like the big time games.
Yeah, I usually start picking up more about this time of the season. Early college football, it's so hit or miss because you have so many of the blowout games, and then fantasy also starts slowing down about this time a little bit too. I'm usually out of
Yeah.
a handful of leagues, so I've got some more time where I can start watching football games, and you get the better ones. So it's same thing with like NBA. Love
All right.
basketball, huge basketball fan, but not
Brian,
till April.
hypothetical question here for you. Ready?
Hit me.
Ashton Genty gets drafted by the Cowboys in the first round. Where does he go in redraft? How high are you taking Ashton Genty with the Cowboys?
I bet he's a fringe round one, round two player. I don't think I'm taking him that high though.
Okay.
I don't like. I just don't know if I'm going to be in the mix of that gamble of like. Not that I wouldn't love to be, but it's just sometimes some of those guys. It's just so rich. The price is so high that I'm just like I'll bow out and let y'all play for it. Would you take him in the first round?
Yeah, I would.
Do you think he
I don't.
outside of the Cowboys pulling their shenanigans? Do you see him going in the first round this coming year at this point?
Yeah, I think he goes in the first round for sure. The dude's like, my Heisman vote is for Travis Hunter. I think it's crazy what he does on both sides of the ball, and he's top 5 in the position for both sides. I think Ashton Genty's having a hell of a year, but yeah, no, he's for sure first runner. You're asking the wrong person. Yes, I'm a big Genty guy. I think Genty will be amazing in the NFL. I think he.
I sure hope so. But Bijan made me a lot. Not that I don't think he could be great, but just like rookie seasons also can be overhyped to the point where they disappoint. Like Bijan had a great
Yeah.
first year, but we were too damn
Okay,
excited about it.
Ashton Genty to the Chargers.
Oh my God! Don't say that. I'm not wearing the appropriate pants for that. That's
Like I'm
that's
thinking of like places where like he legitimately can go to teams that need running backs. Like I think like the Chargers,
Chargers
obviously
at
the
24
Cowboys.
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Denver?
No, I don't think they do it. I think they have other holes they need to fix.
Minnesota would be interesting.
I don't think they do that though. That's not their. I just
They
can't.
pass the ball way too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other teams like
Arizona.
Cardinals. No, Arizona. I don't think they do it with Trey Benson. Maybe I don't think so. I think they have other glaring holes. San Francisco. No, I'm trying to think of other divisions like
I guess
Cincinnati.
Yeah, actually, Cincinnati, but they're top 10, so they'd have to get them in the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I don't know. Like, there's tons of places he could fit. Kansas City.
No, I think they stick with Pacheco.
Do you think they re-sign him?
I think they get the cheaper deal. He's older, so like I don't think he'll have as much of a bargaining chip.
Yeah, but he's never made any money, so he's like just probably
Yeah,
frothing
I
at the
think that's what I'm
mouth.
saying. I think they'll both work with each other on a contract, and I think Pacheco works well with the Chiefs.
Think Pittsburgh goes back for another first round running back? They let Najee walk,
Ooh,
or potentially.
that could be interesting. I could definitely see them wanting to lean on the running game with Arthur Smith's offense. Like, I could definitely see them being in the mix for Ashton Genty. If he goes to the Steelers, I would be in.
Talk about a guy who took Bijan first overall. So yeah, Arthur Smith anyway.
Yeah,
So
there's 3 teams that for sure would be like very, very intriguing.
and they're right in the right spot. Chargers right now projected at 24, Pittsburgh at 26. So I think those would be the teams you'd look at. I don't think he'd go in the top 15. There's just so many holes on some of those teams.
I don't know, man. The dude's really, really good. I think he could be a top 15 pick.
Where are the Cowboys projected at right now?
Probably 10, right? They have 4 wins.
11. They're tied between 9 and
I think
12.
they squeak out like 1 or 2 more wins. So I think they'll be right at like I think if they're at pick 15, it's Jerry. It's exactly. It would be the biggest. See? You forget that Jerry's still alive. Jerry doesn't think reasonably.
Right. Yeah, what about Baltimore? If Henry retires?
He still has 1 more year. He has 1 more year left. So
they win the Super Bowl, though. He can walk off.
Nah, he's not going to piss away $7 million. No way.
$7 million. Come on.
He's not retiring off of that. He hasn't made Aaron Donald money.
Mr. Magic, CMC still top 5 rest of the season.
Brock Purdy, if he plays, maybe.
They've got Buffalo, who you can run on, Chicago, you can run on, the Rams, you can run on, Miami, you can run on, Detroit, and the championship. So that's really the biggest fear is going to be championship game against Detroit. But he's such a
And if you
versatile
made a
back.
championship with CMC, he's not. You have a good team. Like, let's be
Yeah,
honest. If you made it that far,
because you probably made it through with all the not having him for the first part of the
yeah,
season.
exactly. So,
And yeah, he beats defenses in other ways other than just traditionally running it. So Detroit's a hard matchup, but yeah, you're still playing him. So I'd have him top 5 rest of the season, despite 3 straight games without a touchdown. Madness,
hey,
absolute madness. Um, all right, well, we're talking a little college then. Where do you Sanders? Where do you think? Where do you think he
I
goes?
mean, the infamous tweet happened after the Raiders lost. Thank you, God.
I just don't see. I mean, I get the market. I don't know.
He's going to go there with I don't know, man, but with Tom Brady owning the team, I definitely think Tom Brady definitely puts his fingerprints on it and tries to fix it. Like Brock Bowers is a great weapon to have for Shador. They have so many holes they need to fix it. Like the all line probably needs a little bit of rework. Running back, like they'll be in the market for running back.
I love all the talks of like teams that like, hey, don't take Sanders, take Hunter, and then you take Manning next year. Teams trying to like double dip that way, get those 2 back-to-back top 5 picks.
Yeah, that never works out. The NFL always will take the best player they have on their board, regardless of what you want. Yeah, I think Sanders ends up I think he ends up as a top 5 pick. Quarterbacks are too valuable for obvious reasons. So
So right now, Jacksonville and well, I guess they would
no,
probably trade out at that point, but Jacksonville and New England don't need their quarterback. Carolina, Vegas, and the Giants are the other 3 teams in the top 5.
I don't think Carolina takes a quarterback. I think they roll up. I think if what's his name, Bryce Young finishes up the season with just like solid numbers, I think they keep it going.
I think they owe it to the prices they paid for him that they should at
Exactly. He
least
paid
roll it
so
one more time.
much.
At least
Yeah.
beef up the rest of your team to go get a solid top 5 pick here. You probably get a good discount if quarterbacks are going in the top.
Go spend the money on T. Higgins. Go give him an option.
Yeah, give him a big option. Oh man, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Tennessee, but I don't think he'd want him to go to Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Dion's list of teams he can't go to. Like I know he has a list of teams that he can't go to, or he will not let him go to. I'm very curious as to like where that list starts.
100%, because the Jets and the Giants, 2 New York teams, the biggest market there is, both in the
Yeah,
top 7. Are either one of them on it? Both, neither of them on it?
but I think they'd be okay because, like, honestly, I think Cam Ward's a really, really good quarterback coming out of college. Like, I don't think Shadur Sanders is this like a miles ahead of them. So I'm okay with just taking Cam Ward. Where do you think Dino Jones goes? I think he goes to a playoff contending team that needs a solid backup. They're very scared of their backup right now, and they're looking at it as like options. Like the Lions said they were interested, which kind of makes sense. Like,
I think Minnesota is the team I'm looking at right now.
yeah,
I know they're kicking the
um,
tires elsewhere.
Tampa Bay would be interesting just in case Baker goes down because Baker's a little reckless with running the ball. Like all speculative, of course, but
Oh, that would be so just deflating going from Daniel Jones or going from Baker to Daniel Jones. Just so much
yeah.
swagger to the guy who tripped on nothing.
But they're making a playoff run. Like I don't think that division is safe with the Falcons. Like another team.
Washington grab him. Little Jaden Daniels insurance.
That's not a bad.
I just don't
Yeah,
think
I'm
that
trying to think.
team's good enough without Jaden Daniels. Like I just think you plug in
Yeah,
Daniel Jones will be exactly what we thought that team was going to be preseason.
yeah.
Buffalo, who do they have?
The
Mariota.
Dolphins. I think the Dolphins
The,
would make a lot of sense.
yeah, I'll go
Like
Dolphins. Minnesota is my top 2. That actually, I like that one a lot.
like just in case like Tua does get another concussion and like they are making a playoff hunt. Like they're right there. Like yeah, I could see the Dolphins, and I think go to that team.
Maybe the Niners. Brock Purdy's going to be banged up.
He threw the football, I guess, yesterday. So I don't. I think he'll play this week. It sounds like maybe. Who knows?
He ruined a Super Bowl run for him before, getting hurt in the playoffs. So I don't.
That's true.
And yeah, I think that's. I mean, go ahead and throw him in Pittsburgh. Just put one more quarterback on the carousel.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh man. All right. Well, it's about that time. We're gonna shut it down here in just a couple. Brennan, you got anything else you want to bring to the folks? Anything you want to share? Any players we're really attacking? Put you on
QJ,
the
where are you at
spot.
with I know. Where you at with Quentin Johnson? I know you ran a lot of cardio last night. Are you do you still like him rest of the season, or are you
I don't dislike them rest of the season because I do, I don't mind their schedule. Atlanta, you got Kansas City, but then like Tampa Bay, Denver, New England. There's a couple good matchups there. I think he's still going to stay on my roster at this point. Like I don't mind him as my fourth ish, maybe fifth wide receiver on my team.
Mhm.
But like if he's any deeper than that, no, I'd probably rather have a backup running back than him.
All right. Last one. Sean Vele, the rookie, I think I butchered his first name, Vele from Broncos.
Yeah.
Sean Payne said he wants to give him more run. Are you believe in that hype train or no?
You mean like you said he was going to give Estime more run?
I know. I was going to say the same thing next. But he technically did give more touches. He didn't do anything with them. So
I think Vele might be somebody to look at week 14. Oh wait, no, they're on bye for week 4. I was going to say week 14 just for the bye-apocalypse. He might be an option, but he's out that week. So this week, I just think nobody's on bye. I feel like you have better options, and when he gets to the playoffs, I don't know. Like Cincinnati game, championship weekend, that actually might be a decent play, like maybe a great DFS play. Let's call it that.
okay. Final question: if Jonathan Brooks lays another dud, are you cutting him?
Jonathan Brooks, did he lay a dud or did he just not get any work?
2 attempts, 7 yards, right?
Yeah, I talk about the struggle with the keeper league. I can't drop him. Because I took him in the 10th round thinking, oh, dope, I've got a sweet keeper. I can't drop him. I'm so pissed. So and I'm competing this year, so it's not like I can just
drop
give
him,
it
dude.
up.
I think they really like Chuba.
I think they do too. And that's the thing. I was like, so the value won't even be there this year for him. So I should probably drop him in the pool, hope that he falls. Yeah, I might be dropping him.
That's a tough one. Sizizu said
I feel
Johnston.
like Zuzu's screwing with me here because all I've been talking about is Odunze for the last month.
I mean, at some point, you drafted Odunze as a top 10 pick. I think him and Caleb for sure have to figure it out because I don't think Keenan comes back next year.
No, I think they would have re-signed him at this point if they were playing on it. I think I'd go Odunze because I've already contemplated dropping QJ. So I think that would mean that either one of these guys is droppable, and I just like Odunze's schedule more, so I'd rather roll the dice with him for another week or two, see if he's viable. Because QJ, I just don't know if I want to play him in a playoff game, unless I'm down.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle, you can throw on those teams. That's Odunze's playoff schedule. Can't wait till this March when you're talking to me. You're like, hey, remember Odunze? We were talking about his playoff schedule for 7 weeks. I'm like, yeah, remember, man. Thanks. It's going to happen. All right, well, we got to get out of here. Brendan, tell the folks where they can find you if they're looking for more questions to be answered.
X at FFAMBMulk, and then you can look for the Facebook group Patriot Fantasy Football Advice Network.
Yeah, we're all over on that Advice Network, folks. Come join us, hang out. We've had several of our regulars on the show coming out, hanging out with us there. Questions constantly answered, all the content you can look for. If you're a creator yourself, we're easily adding that kind of stuff. If you're looking for me, it's at @too_much_Brian on the X, at @too_much_Brian everywhere else. We got to get out of here. We'll see y'all later. Bye.